Hello everyone, it's me again, back with another video in my Everything You Need to Know series, where I tell you everything you need to know about a particular lost media case. In today's episode, I'll be analyzing the creepy Hitogata Japanese PSA, since I've noticed that it has been brought up several times this year, and I find this case very fascinating, since I'm really into foreign lost media from other countries. Anyways, I present to you everything you need to know about the creepy Hitogata Japanese PSA. The creepy Hitogata Japanese PSA was first mentioned on the internet back in 2004 when a post made by an anonymous user on a 2-channel forum described a terrifying commercial that he/she can recall. The thread the post was posted in discussed many creepy commercials and advertisements the users had found memorable, and the post made by the user was in Japanese, but when translated into English, it reads, quote, "There was this terribly scary commercial, and I still have it constantly left in my memory. There were 2 white human figures depicted against a black backdrop, and this noise going, 'Gone, gone,' kept ringing. What sure is the part that went, every 2 seconds a man dies on Earth. So, after the noise is repeated twice, one of the figures disappears. On the next instant, the human figure returns back to its old place, and now, it's the other one that disappears. It was a commercial with only that, repeating over and over for an extended time." Unquote. The thread the post was posted in also contained this image of what the white human figures looked like. While many people consider the 2004 2-channel post to be the first time the Hitogata PSA was mentioned on the internet, others say that the Hitogata PSA was first mentioned on a 2-channel post from February 11, 1999. However, an archive of the thread that the post originated from does not exist, so we can't really fully credit the post as being the first to mention the Hitogata PSA. But one eyewitness does recall what the post read. When translated into English, the post reads, quote, "There's this commercial with 2 black and white people blinking on and off alternately, going pond pond. Among local PSA commercials, there's many I can't make sense of." Unquote. There have also been many other testimonies from users who claim to have seen the Hitogata PSA, with some users mentioning that there was text being displayed on the screen, a railroad crossing sign present, train tracks the 2 white figures were on, and a sepia-colored background. However, other users claim that there was no railroad crossing sign and no train tracks the white figures were on, but instead, the white figures were on a completely black background. Back when the PSA was first mentioned on the internet, there was no name to call it by, since little information was given about it. But eventually, people decided to call the PSA Hitogata, since the English translation for Hitogata is humanoid. Also, back when Hitogata was first brought up, many users were undecided on whether or not it truly was a PSA, since other users believe that Hitogata was simply just a commercial that aired late at night. However, more people say that it was a PSA, simply because the every 2 seconds a man dies on Earth phrase being repeated, and the possible train tracks that many people have claimed to see in it. Some users even went as far as saying that the PSA was shown at their schools, and it was a railroad safety PSA. This would make sense given the fact that Japan has lots of high-speed maglev trains that can instantly kill anyone who wanders onto the tracks, especially children. And because children pose a higher risk of getting run over, it would therefore make sense to show the Hitogata PSA at schools, to teach children about the dangers of railways. Another reason why many people believe Hitogata was shown in schools is due to the fact that traffic safety and railroad safety specials are a very popular form of teaching in Japan, with examples including Super Mario Traffic Safety and Boy Traffic Officer Osamatsu-kan, which are films that still remain partially lost to this day. While the date of the Hitogata PSA hasn't been fully confirmed, many users believe that the PSA was made between the years of 1996 to 2003. Despite the great reasons for why Hitogata was shown exclusively in schools, there's also been a statement from many eyewitnesses that the piece of media was only 15 seconds long, which seems like a reasonable length for a commercial, and thus possibly debunking the idea of Hitogata being exclusively shown in schools. But if Hitogata was a commercial, then that leaves the question of, what was Hitogata advertising? Despite no one coming forward and explaining what Hitogata was advertising, there have been a wide range of answers from many users, with the most common answers being a drugstore, soap, a jeans company, a UNICEF advertisement, and a NGO advertisement. And eventually, all those answers were debunked because they did not match up with eyewitness accounts. Therefore, most people believe Hitogata to be a PSA, and not a commercial. With the majority of people believing Hitogata to be a PSA, a new question was brought up, which was, who was responsible for making the PSA? While the question remains unanswered to this day, many people believe that AC Japan, also known as the Advertising Council Japan, was responsible for Hitogata. But that was proven false after one user was able to get into contact with AC Japan and they denied any claims that they made a PSA similar to it. While AC Japan wasn't responsible for Hitogata, another theory states that it was an ad made by Takuyama, a chemical company based in Tokyo, since there is a similar urban legend of a terrifying 1994 ad made by Takuyama that almost resembles that of Hitogata. The Takuyama ad was believed to have aired locally in the Yamaguchi prefecture, and eyewitness accounts state that a white featureless figure was shown against a bluish-black background, with a number of white circles appearing around it, along with text appearing on the screen that roughly translates to, "Chemistry is now in the unknown world," followed by a text that says Takuyama. Because the 1994 Takuyama ad is very similar to Hitogata, it is believed that Hitogata could have been made by the Takuyama company, and as of writing the script, we still have yet to contact the Takuyama company to see if they were responsible for Hitogata. Despite Hitogata first being mentioned on the internet back in 2004, at the latest, we still have yet to find out what Hitogata was about, and who was responsible for making it. As of writing this script, the evidence of Hitogata has been unconfirmed, but there are many Hitogata recreation videos that can be watched on YouTube. In fact, I'll show you a recreation video right now. So yeah, I guess all that remains of Hitogata are people's memories of it and the recreations of it on YouTube, which is really sad seeing that massive search efforts for Hitogata have been going on for the past decade, and I must say that I genuinely have little hope that Hitogata will ever be found. Or so I thought. While writing this script, I managed to stumble upon a post that was made to Hitogata's Lost Media Wiki article, posted on May 23rd, 2021. The post reads, quote, "I found this on YouTube. Could it be similar?" Unquote. And at the bottom of the text is a link with text reading, "It's at 15 minutes and 57 seconds. I then clicked on the link, and it brought me to a video uploaded to YouTube on July 24th, 2019 by Anamaru02, as well as bringing me to the exact time the supposed Hitogata commercial appears at. The video uploaded by Anamaru02 appears to show a compilation of Japanese commercials, with the supposed Hitogata commercial being at 15 minutes and 57 seconds. Let's have a look at the commercial. Looking at the commercial, it appears to very closely resemble the 1994 Tokuyama ad, since it features a white featureless figure with a number of white circles appearing around it, and a background that was blue in the beginning before changing to a sepia-colored black appearance, which very closely matches up with people recalling the background being bluish-black. The commercial also appears to feature a line of text in front of the figure, which I'm pretty sure might translate into "chemistry is now in the unknown world," since when I put "chemistry is now in the unknown world" in a English to Japanese translator, I almost get exactly what the text in the commercial read, but I don't know. If anyone understands Japanese, then I would be very pleased if you can help translate what the text in the commercial means in English. I was, however, able to translate this text in the commercial, which in English reads "Government Public Relations." And I was also able to translate the text at the beginning of the commercial, which in English reads "Bonus." I wasn't, however, able to find the text Tokoyama being featured at the end of the commercial, since when I translated Tokoyama into Japanese, I got these two characters which cannot be found anywhere in the commercial. I also found some sources that explain that Tokoyama in Japanese are these four characters, but those characters also can't be found anywhere in the commercial. But the commercial does feature a line of text at the end of it, so maybe that's the text reading Tokoyama? I don't know. Also, I must point out that the word Tommy can be seen below these male and female white figures in the commercial, which kind of resembles Takuyama, since Tommy comes close to being spelled as Taku in the Takuyama company name, but that's just something I thought would be nice to bring up. I do know, however, that the commercial was indeed made by Takuyama, since when I went into the description of the video the commercial is featured in, there appears to show all the timestamps for when each commercial appears in the compilation, and right next to the Takuyama commercial's timestamp is a line of Japanese text, which, when translated into English, reads "Bonus, Takuyama/Government Public Relations/Tommy," which proves that the commercial was indeed made by Takuyama. However, what is missing from the commercial that many people have recalled was the "every 2 seconds a man dies on Earth" phrase being repeated over and over, and there being two figures that appeared and disappeared after the "gone gone" noise is repeated twice. While these two aspects are missing from the commercial, I do have a rational explanation as to why people recalled these details being featured. First of all, the "every 2 seconds a man dies on Earth" phrase that many people recalled hearing might have actually came from this commercial, known as JR Eastern Japan Moral, which also appears in the compilation in which the Takuyama commercial is in. Let's have a look at the commercial. What's very interesting about the commercial is that the phrase being repeated sounds very similar to the phrase that can be heard if you choose to listen to the English to Japanese translation for "every 2 seconds a man dies on Earth."
医療ごとに人は地球上で死ぬ。
What's also interesting about the commercial is that train tracks are featured in it, and text does appear to be shown on screen, which are both things that many people have recalled seeing in the Hitogata PSA. And second of all, the two figures that many people recall seeing might be the two figures in the Takuyama logo, which can be seen in the Takuyama commercial I've just shown previously. However, the two figures don't disappear and reappear one after the other, but something tells me that they are in fact the two figures that many people recall seeing. Considering that both the Takuyama commercial and the JR Eastern Japan Moral commercial both feature aspects of the lost Hitogata PSA, there's maybe a possibility that the two commercials were both mistakenly recalled as being one complete commercial, thus creating the lost Hitogata PSA that everyone believes to have seen. While the two commercials being mixed together and remembered as one commercial doesn't sound like a likely possibility, I do feel that there's a chance of the lost Hitogata commercial being just a case of the Mandela effect, where we recall something as being totally different from what it actually was. Hopefully, the case of the lost Hitogata Japanese PSA will finally be solved this year in 2021, so we can not only get to see how creepy it really was, but also confirm that it indeed exists.